welcome if wait welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you're not. I'm Nola. It's nice to acquaintance style. Something I want to talk about today, and I feel sorry. Hopefully you don't mind. I'm just okay, okay. Is this better? It is. It is. I want to talk about friendships, because I think friendships are really cool. I think there's nothing cooler than having a bond with someone. Two people. I need to bring out the pens for this. Okay. I think there's nothing cooler than having two people from different circumstances, lives, so on and so forth, who mutually come together and become friends. And then they share their experiences, then you bond over things that you do, things you don't do, and just that. I think it's so cool how we as people do that. We select someone and we're like, I want to have a friendship with you. I don't know what it is about you, but something is drawing me to you, so I want to know more about you, for me, when it comes to friends, or more so now, I'm kind of I don't know, there's always just something about the people I become friends with to why I became friends with them. It's always something that draws me to them, or I get a glimpse of who they are within a short period of time. I'm yeah, I want to be friends with you. For me, that's kind of how it goes down. It wasn't always like that. It's kind of turned into that over the years, with my history of friends. Some or most of them I selected, and over the years, and as I've gotten older, something's kind of just changed, I used to more so pursue friendships in the sense of me, I don't want to say go out of my way, I don't like how that sounds, but me going to them and being like, hey, do you want to be friends? Versus now to where I kind of just chill, and it just happens more. I guess it's the difference between it happening more naturally and then you doing something about it, I guess. And it's not always bad to do something about it. To me, though, from my own experience, I'm only going to speak for myself, it seems when it's more natural, it seems things just flow a lot better. And, it's more natural. It just, there's something about the flow when it comes to timing, when it comes to, seeing one another, and over time just getting familiar without knowing each other, and in the sense of hey, you want to be friends, and you haven't got over that beginning stage. Building friendships is it's such a beautiful journey, but at the same time an awkward one, or at least for me, because I know how I am. I feel I could be awkward just as equally as talkative, but also saying that, it kind of depends on the other person too. If you can carry a conversation, I tend to be a lot better at conversation, obviously, because the conversation is being carried, but when sometimes, or when I do the heavy lifting sometimes, it can be water, I need and I'm SpongeBob and Patrick from the first movie where they're over a heat lamp and they're drying up. That's me in a conversation I have to carry, or there's more of the heavy lifting on me. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, no, something so natural, and it's so beautiful too, because instead of you forcing a flower to bloom, and I'm not saying just because you go and pursue someone saying, hey, I want to be your friends, it doesn't, I don't want to insinuate that, that, but I guess more so for me, I feel some of my other friendships, and sometimes I just feel the friends I was friends with, or friends I was friends with, I feel like I'm wording that wrong. They were great people. Personally, I just don't feel like in the end, feel like we were right for each other. And like when I say that, I don't mean that in a bad way or anything, but people like personalities and things of that nature, like, you know, that's okay. I mean, there are so many people in this world. There are gonna be some that you can chill with, talk to, but may not be the best fit for you. You know, like for me, I know some of the friends I've had, and this is something I've more found out about myself too, more recently. Or not more, well, I guess more recently. Is that I like someone who's a bit more attentive. And you know, that's okay. Like, I just really like building bonds. That's something like, because like I said, it's so fascinating and it's so cool to me. And I love learning about people. I like someone who's more attentive and someone to where there's mutual like attentiveness and like hanging outiness. And like, I know people have lives, obviously. Like, we all have our lives. But I know there are some people who aren't as attentive to their phone compared to others. And I'm someone who likes to be more attentive in the sense of like texting and stuff. Like, I'm not someone who will send a hi. They send like a hey back, and I never respond. I'm not that person, and those people, they're just not my type of friend in that sense. Because I've had some people who weren't as like attentive to their phone, and it's like I felt like I would almost do anything to get their attention, because like I wanted their attention. So like, for one, we're friends. Like, I want to talk, right? I want to talk to them, and I want our bond to grow. You know, like that's like the point of having a friend, a confidant, is, well, to me, someone that you can just hang out with and chill with, and someone who is mutually as interested in you as you are in them. You know. And some of these situations like have their own circumstances, so it's like I'm not gonna blame them for circumstance. Though there were some other ones to where it was like I would have liked if there was as much being put in the friendship as I was doing, but on their end, you know. And at the same time, like I said, I've come to figure out that I like someone more attentive, you know. Like I said that 5 seconds ago, but I'm saying it again. That's just me. Like, I just like someone more attentive. I like someone who, like, will say hi instead of me always saying hi, because I've always kind of been that person to like start conversations first, which I'm not really. I'm trying to learn to be better about that, because like how I took it is like when I would always send a text and I never really got anything back, I took that as a like they're either ignoring me or they want nothing to do with me, which isn't always the case. But like sometimes when you see people you know are on their phone 24/7 and you send them a text and they don't bother to text you back, like that can send a message, right? Like, not even an acknowledgement or anything, especially when it's like, okay, you send a text, okay, then you wait like a few more days, ask if they're alright because you haven't heard from them, and then like the cycle continues, you know? And like, I have kind of perceived that as like I'm being left on red, or they just don't want to talk. But it's like, if you don't want to talk, just tell me, you know? Like, I feel like in certain circumstances, it doesn't take a lot to text someone like, hey, like, I really want to talk, but I can't talk right now. I could text you later or something like that. And especially because with some of the more recent friendships I have, they make an effort, you know? And I think that's the biggest thing, is just the effort. Because I understand that people, you know, have lives, and also talking about this, like I said, people who just aren't as, like, communicative, I don't know if I'm saying that right, just aren't really my people, you know? So I am, when I talk about this, keeping that in mind. And like I said, some had certain circumstances, which I'm not, that's their personal business. It's not going to say anything. But I am keeping that in mind. But it's like people who kind of say those things, it's like, to me, are kind of like more so like past people. It was like, or it is, well, kind of like, okay, scatterbrain. People I talk to now go out of their way to make the effort to talk to me and to grow our friendship. And I know some of my friends now who do that are like hella busy, but they always take at least some time to let me know like what's up, and like I don't ask for much in that sense. Like when it comes to friends, it's like just let me know, because I don't want to be left worried about someone who's perfectly fine, or someone who's just genuinely doesn't fuck with me, but they just don't want to not, like, they just don't know how to say it. Like, if you don't like me, tell me, okay? Like, you don't have to be rude about it, but you can be like, hey, like, I just don't feel like what we have is working out, or you're just not the type. Oh, just want to make sure she's okay. I don't know what my train of thought. Oh, or like, just, you don't have to be rude about it. You just be like, I just don't think what we have, it's just not right for us, And hopefully this like makes sense. I know like when I talk, I get confused, or I can get confusing. I've been known to confuse. So yeah, but yeah, no, it's just, it sucks too, because I know the people that I was friends with, like I said, they were really cool, and like I really like their personalities, but just overall how the communication or lack thereof, like the friendship just felt like it was in a standstill. And I don't know, like I said, in the friendship, I want things to grow. Like, I want in a friendship, most of all, is we come out better people than who we were when we first started the friendship. Like, we learned things, we went over things, and like we had the tough conversations, because to me having tough conversations means you're willing to work through the harder things to keep what we have, and I mean, it sucks because, like, on a real note, I'm always on a real note. that sounded better in my head. But on a real note though, like, even the friends that I've had that haven't worked out, or like the friends that kind of just over time, life made us go our separate way, I do miss them. Like, I really do. Like, there are some good times that we've had, and it's sad that like we don't really talk anymore, or like how things ended, how it just ended how it ended. And it sucks because even though I feel at the end, some of them, I just feel that like we were cool together, but like our styles when it comes to friends is just different. They're really cool. Like I miss a lot of them, honestly, and some of them, I feel like I wish they would have ended better than how they did, but at the same time, I mean, how they ended is how you learn, And there are definitely people I could have done a lot better for, and I wish I could kind of like say sorry to them, because I mean, you get where you're at through experience. For better or for worse, you get there. And I would say, arguably, not even arguably, like, mine both ways. Like, I've had friendships end fine, then I've had others that could have ended better, and then I've had friendships to where I ended it, or how I was in the friendship, I could have been a better person. But at the same time, it's like, you can see your faults, or at least this is how I think about it. You can see your faults, but also realize who you were back then isn't who you are now. Like, things I did back then, who I was back then, that's not me now. It's a part of who I was, but it's not who I am now. But I mean, it still sucks to like think about like friendships and things of that nature, and you know, just kind of ponder on it and just be like, wow, like things could have been done better. But you know, that's life. You know, you kind of just, stuff happens. As long as you don't repeat the same mistake, then you know, I feel like you've learned. And sometimes like it's okay to goof up like once or twice, but after a while, if you keep messing up, then there's just something that you haven't learned yet, or something you neglect to acknowledge. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Friendships are cool, you know, they're really cool. Ooh, sorry, I feel like I gotta sneeze. Sorry for the sneeze, dude. Back to the video! If I left that in, which I doubt I will, I apologize. Allergy. Actually, I don't even think it's allergies. I just have a really dry nose. Didn't know something could be drier than my humor. That was a knee slapper, but my knee is under my desk, and it... Anyways. Anyways, yeah. Learning about people, especially if it's someone, okay, especially if it's someone you've wanted to be friends with, because I'm in this situation, it is so cool, right? Because like I said, I'm in this situation where there's someone that I see, and I think they're really cool, and they seem like a really chill, laid-back person, and like I said, like, I would really like to be friends with them. And I'm starting to see kind of like blossoming, right? And I'm happy for that, because we haven't, or really, I don't, like, how do I put this? Like, we've known of each other's existence for a while now, but now we're more so acknowledging each other's existence, if that makes sense. And it being a lot more than just a short little interaction, if that makes sense. Like, we're going, I don't want to say out of our way, but we're taking the extra step. I like that word a lot better. We're taking an extra step to kind of talk more, interact more, and I really like that, because I like seeing the progression of something that, you know, something I've wanted, like us to chill and like be friends or whatever. And I'm excited to see where that goes, and hopefully it all goes well. Fingers crossed. Are they crossed enough? Anyways. And like I said, I see things starting to blossom, even though it could be just me being crazy, which I don't truly think so, just by how, like, things have slowly started to open up, you know? And I'm referring to more so, like, the flower blooming. And I'm happy and I'm excited, because I love, like I said earlier, like, I love building friendships, or just relationships in general. Like, I love doing that, because I don't really need a reason, like, just because it's, you know what, okay, I don't think I need a reason, because I feel like if you're someone who has a friend, you want to build something that lasts forever, or at least as long as forever involves you two. But it's just, like I said, it's just two worlds coming together and just learning. And I love that, like, I love that so much. And especially learning about new perspectives or things of that nature. Like, I love that, you know? If you don't know, you do. And I'm starting to kind of see that, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I really, like I said, I really do hope something comes, I really hope that something does become more of this. But I'm letting time take its place. And, you know, if something comes out of it, I'll probably talk about it. And if it doesn't, you know, I'm enjoying the little moments. I'm sorry. Whew. I had like a, excuse me, like a burp stuck in my throat. Then I had to yawn. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. But yeah. But the biggest thing when it comes to starting a new friendship is the awkward phase. Starts to like geek out. Yeah. Because I remember one of my awkward phases was like one of my friends. Good grief. Good grief. It was something. But like, you know, those moments, those like little awkward moments and things build something so beautiful. Because like without those awkward moments or awkward calls or like things of that nature, we wouldn't have what we have now. Because that's like our foundation. Or I should say it's the building of our foundation. I feel like the actual foundation is calling, talking, texting, like doing those things and just like shared experiences and things of that nature. That's what builds a foundation. And then, you know, it builds more things like trust and like, you know, so on and so forth. So hypothetically, if I do become friends with this person, though I'm probably gonna have to go through all that again, it's worth it because it builds stable foundations. Or maybe it may not even be like that, but I know how I am. I am me. I'm me. And I can be awkward. Or not even awkward, maybe like a bit nervous too. Or sometimes like I'm not really good with social cues on top of that. I've got a little bit hindering me, but it ain't gonna bring me down. That I'm not gonna let bring me down, right? And who knows? Maybe it's only awkward because like I wouldn't even necessarily say it's awkward, but like when those moments come up, maybe we'll just click. And we really won't have those moments. Or we could. No matter what, like I'm still down for the ride. Oh. I sound like a hound. I sound like a hound when I said that. But yeah. I think today I'm excited. Like I said, I love building bonds and connections and stuff. And, you know, hopefully, because like I said, I'm not gonna rush, like, I don't like rushing into anything. Time will do its thing. Because, you know, also, funny thing, too, since, like, I'm going on about friends and stuff, after I lost my best friend, and to me, okay, let me say this. There are different versions of best friends for me. There's a best friend, a close friend, and, well, actually, yeah. Close friend and best friend. And this one, the best friend, I lost my best friend. Like, they didn't pass away or anything. That sounds kind of, but like, we just dealt with things and we just kind of went our separate ways. And when I lost the best friend, I gained my closest friend. Because after that, I like, just kind of, I still had a few friendships, however, nothing really became of them. But once I kind of just like, because around that time, I lost my other friends. Or, yeah, like, we didn't just talk anymore. I kind of just, like, went back to chilling by myself. Because that's, like, the biggest thing. I'm okay in my own silence. I don't need a room of screams to keep me company. Because I can keep myself company. It's probably why I am... That's why my social cues are out the window. Ooh, that's why my social cues are out the window. But yeah, I don't need a room of screams, and I mean that in the sense of like metaphorically. Like I don't need nothing noise. I'm okay by myself. I would rather wait to have a few dollars than a bunch of quarters, and that means quantity over quality, or no, quality over quantity. I don't need 100 friends. I just give me 3 close, best, close slash best friends, and I'm okay. I don't want a crowd. I don't need someone to crowd around me. Just give me a few close, authentic friends, because I don't settle for not like. I don't think anyone should settle just because they're uncomfortable with their own silence. Because what you may settle for won't be something that works for you. Okay? And I don't use settle in a bad way. Everyone is not meant for everybody, you know? Like for me, I like a more attentive friend. For someone else, they may like a more relaxed, don't blow up my phone kind of friend. Like, and that's okay. Me and person number B, like, I wouldn't settle for person B, because for one, person B doesn't want that, and for two, person me, I think I need water. Oh my gosh. But yeah, person A and person me, like, what we want in a friend is different, you know, and that's okay. But you shouldn't settle because you are uncomfortable with your silence, you know? Because the crazy thing is, or like from what I've experienced, is, you know, I learned, and it takes a lot, but I learned that I'm okay with my silence, and then eventually silence came peace, and peace referring to the people I have in my life now, people who we equally take care of each other, and we lift each other up, and we're like very attentive. I think I said that already. And that's something I want in a friend. So it's like my solace, my quietness brought me peace at the end, because now I have people who, like, I would never trade for the world. And like there's that, like, I value them so much, and I care for them so much. I would honestly die for them, and that's like crazy to say, but that just shows you how much they mean and how much we've grown our bond for, you know? And it was worth living through my silence, or being with my silence, because at the end it brought me peace. Because I wasn't looking for anyone, and that's like the funniest thing to me. It's like, I don't know if this happens to everyone, but for me personally, like, when I don't expect something, that's when something comes, right? Or if I think something's gonna come, it doesn't. But when I forget, or something of that nature, it just comes, right? Like, one of my friends, like my closest friend, like, as silly as it sounds, they're like someone I've like kind of wished for, honestly. Like, someone, like, who they are as a person is who I wanted as a friend. And like the day I met them was so, like, I don't know, it's like I knew a part of me in my heart was like, this is the person I've been waiting for, you know? Even though I didn't I need to get water real quick. Okay, sorry, I'm back. But yeah, no. It's just someone like I knew from the jump. I'm like, you or that person. And like, how we met is like, it's so crazy too. Like, and when I think about that day, I think of it so fondly. And it's like, how we met is just so, it's so random almost, because how we met, you wouldn't think that's how you would make a friend, but like that's how it happened. And like, it's been history ever since. I mean, I don't think I've ever had a friend to where I've known for this as long as we've known each other, and we've been like so much more closer than half the friends I've known for like years, or half as long as I know this person right now. And those are the friendships that I feel are gonna stay with you forever. Because when you aren't actively looking for something, like I said, I'm just speaking from my own experience, that's when things you deserve come your way. Or that's just, like I said, I'm just speaking from my own experience. Because the thing is, too, it's like if I didn't learn to live with my silence, I wouldn't be who I am today. You know, I just wouldn't be me. I would be maybe a less or a worser version of who I am now. And that didn't happen because I am okay with my own silence. I don't need people around me I don't need quarters. I want dollars. And, you know, I'll do what it takes to get those dollars, you know. And that's it. And like I said earlier, with the thing that may possibly be brewing, I hope that, and I feel like honestly it may be the same way, in the sense of like I said, the place I go, or in general, anywhere, I don't expect to get a friend of where I come from. But then they just show up when it's right, you know. I like to trust that, you know, if I'm meant for someone or someone's meant for me, we'll somehow cross paths. And this is very off topic, but this is not sponsored by the way, some Bolt House Farms. It's not sitting well on my stomach. I think it's too heavy right now. Oh man, I don't know what it is, but when it comes to like milk, am I saying that right? Milk, whether it be chocolate or not, or things like, I don't know, I don't want to say protein per se, but just like more heavier things, they don't sit well in my stomach. But I can't have water in the morning. I mean, it's like 10:47 right now, but like, still, I can't drink water because it makes me sick. And it's like, I don't want to eat. I mean, I could have maybe had orange juice, but I feel like just liquids in the morning just don't sit well in my stomach. But yeah, anyways. Sorry, side rant. Or not rant, but like ramble. But yeah, and I hope that kind of is what happens with me and the person I'm talking about at the moment. And I feel like I said earlier, it's gonna be like that because that's just how it seems by like me gauging the vibe. The vibe-o-meter is vibing off, man. That sounded a lot better in my head. But yeah, I'm excited to see where things go, if they go anywhere. I mean, if they don't, you know, like I said earlier, enjoy the ride till it ends. And, you know, yeah, that's really it. I'm Nola. Thank you for listening to me talk for like a bit. I appreciate it. Okay, me being a little bit less silly goofy right now. I'm Nola. I hope you have a great day. Don't forget to drink water, eat food, but most of all, love yourself. Bye! Oh, oops, I accidentally unpressed it. But okay, actually, bye for real now. Bye! I did it again! I'm just, bye.